Yeah, hi live. I think hi love. I think we're live. Can you check the
Yeah, that we are
audio?
live. Yeah, let me quickly check the feed, sir. I think in the last session there was some issue with the podcast. One second. Yeah, now it's good, sir. Now it's good. Yeah, now it's good, sir. Carry on.
Okay, so
Yeah,
then I think you can send the fresh link in
yeah,
our group.
I'm doing. Yeah, I'm doing that.
Okay. Yeah, hi everyone. I think there was some issue with the previous streaming link, so we are going live again, and we are sending the link now. So right, good evening everyone. Welcome back. Sorry for the interruption. We had a StreamYard outage, and we will start our session once again. So today we are touching domain two, and what is domain two all about in CISSP, right, love? So yeah, love. Any issues which you think we should tackle before we start domain two?
No, no, we're good to go, sir. Carry on.
Okay, so domain two is all about asset security. Now, what is an asset? Everything is an asset, right? Anything which has a value has an asset. So, human being is an asset. Your facility is an asset. Your office is an asset. Your people are assets. So, in information systems, what are assets? Okay, so generally in information systems, of course, we talk about people, processes, and technology. So there are people assets, there are process assets, and there are technology assets. And first task, very important task, is to know what are your assets. So inventorizing your assets is very important, and ownership of assets is very important.
Right.
Now, once you look at any organization, small or big, you will see that managing assets becomes a time bomb over a period of time, right? So a small company like mine with 15, 20 odd employees, our assets are difficult to manage. We have
Yes.
upwards of
Yes.
20 machines, the servers, we have cloud assets, we have third party dependencies, we
Yeah.
have people who we need to train, we get fished, people send us phishing links, there's
Right.
whaling happening, there's so much happening, right? So for a small organization, if managing assets is a difficult issue and I have to specifically task someone to do that, imagine an organization which has upwards of 10,000 people. And there
Wow.
are organizations which have lakhs of people.
Yes. Yes.
So asset security becomes very important, though a very small domain, but a very important domain, right? So what are the issues which you should be aware once you are dealing with asset security? First is identification of assets and data, any asset, right? It's very
Yes.
important that you are able to identify information, identify data, identify assets. So identification is a key thing. Second is you are able to categorize, okay, categorize information, categorize data, that who needs to do what. So categorization can only happen once you have a classification scheme. So you can categorize information or data assets or even physical assets based on your classification
Right.
scheme. That means you need
Right.
to classify your assets, okay,
Right.
and you need to have a classification scheme. Now, there are two kinds of classification scheme. One is predominant in the government and the military space, which where I was top secret, secret,
Yes.
confidential, restricted. And
Yes.
whereas in the non-governmental sector, it is confidential, sensitive. Uh, you know, then you have public and one more, right? Wherein you decide what is the what kind of damage that piece of information
Yeah.
can cause if there
Yes.
is an exposure, right? So
Yeah.
public
Yeah.
data will not have any damage, then sensitive data might have some damage, or
Private also. Yeah.
private information will have more
Yeah.
damage, and
Yeah.
confidential
Yeah.
or top secret information will have
Right.
extremely
Right.
great damage, right? So you classify so that people are able to understand, okay, or your systems are able to understand what is the importance of the data. So it's very important to identify, categorize, classify, and label your assets and data, right? Now, once you label it, okay, then you can catch data which can leave your premises, because if you have labeled it, you can put some kind of data loss prevention systems in your organization, right?
Right.
So
Right.
if you do that, what happens is that your data loss prevention systems can catch those labels, okay, and can stop any kind of exfiltration of data from your environment. Right now, it's very important to understand DLP, and basically you have two kinds of DLP: host-based and network-based. DLP can stop your exfiltration on the network level and at your host level. That is the
Host level
initial.
also. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So once we look at data and assets, another thing that comes into mind is ownership. Now, it's very important to have ownership in your organization, and that's why we see in your organization we said who's the risk owner, who's the asset owner, right? It's very important to
Right.
establish
Right.
ownership.
Right.
So ownership, what is ownership, right? There will be some, data owner, or asset owner. So who is the data owner? Who is the asset owner, right? Someone who has the ultimate responsibility, right?
Who is accountable? Yeah.
Who is accountable, okay, and
Yeah.
accountability generally stops at the CEO level, right?
Right. Right.
So who is accountable, right? If you look at most of the high profile hacking cases, you will see, the CEO standing and, replying to the Congress, or replying to, EU Commission, right? Then once you have understand, so ownership is one, so accountability comes with, ownership, then responsibility also comes with. So whenever there is asset owner or data owner, that means they are accountable. Okay, business
Hmm.
owners, they will be accountable, mission owners, they will be accountable, rest all will be responsible, right? Somebody
Right.
responsible for securing, somebody responsible for engineering. So if you are responsible for engineering, you are a security engineer. If you are responsible for custody, then you are a custodian, okay. And if
Right.
you are responsible for administrating systems, then you are an administrator. If you are responsible
Right.
for using, then you are a user. If you are responsible for auditing, you are an auditor. As
Right.
simple as that.
Right.
Let's
Right.
not make it too complicated. People make it too
Right.
complicated.
Right.
Right. So once ownership has been defined, then next is you want to now run the systems for the life cycle. Your assets and data need to have a life cycle. So do you have a life cycle? So what is life cycle, Love? What do you understand by life cycle?
The life cycle means it runs through stages like creation of data, then you use the data, then you archive it, then you dispose it. So there are phases across the life cycle, I believe.
Life cycle is what we used to call in military was womb to tomb.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
The
Yeah.
womb to tomb concept means that from the day you are born till the
Yeah.
day
Till the day you
you,
die. Yeah.
yeah, till the day you die. So
Yeah.
similarly, assets and data need to be managed from the day they are created, they are formed, to the day they are discarded or they die. Right? You
Right.
need to manage security all over its lifetime.
Right.
So data will be created, assets will be created, they will be managed over a period of lifetime, and then they will be archived, and they will be put to rest. So you
Right.
need to maintain security all over its lifetime, right? So one of the major part of protecting data is understanding data states. So there are three data states: data in rest, data in motion, data in use. So you need to understand what are the mechanism by which you protect data in all these three states, right? So
Right.
first comes encryption, access controls. In motion comes encryption, VPN, tunneling. In use comes habits, user habits, behavior, screen guards, and shoulder surfing, tailgating, and these are all things where we come to know that what are the controls, how to protect data in each state. And next would be to understand what is data remnants. Okay, now data remnants is actually predominantly based on, uh, I will say, magnetic drives. Okay,
Okay.
now data has a habit of remaining if you have a magnetic drive. Now magnetic drives, if you remember, Love, when we were kids, we used to run tape drives, and we would
Tracks and
record a music.
sectors. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we will record music on that, and
Yeah.
again when we re-record music on top of it, you could hear the recorded ones, and you can hear the pre-recorded song also,
Yes.
right? Why? Because magnetic tapes have a habit of data remnants. So no matter how
Yes.
many times you overwrite, the data will remain. And that's typical of hard disk drives, magnetic tape drives, and tape cassettes, right?
Right.
But this is not the case with optical drives. Optical drives, if you have written the data once or many times, the only way data remnants can be moved out is by crushing them or burning
Crushing
them.
them. Yeah.
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 With magnetic tape drives, you can do some kind of a erasure, some kind of purging, or some kind of
Okay.
degaussing the drives, because they are magnetic drives. You can reach some level of data remnants using degaussing or purging or clearing, right?
Okay.
Some level, but not 100%. So they are not foolproof technologies. US government does not trust even purging with uh, top secret data, right? Now, degaussing is a favorite question in CISSP. What is a degausser? To understand, degaussor is a basically nothing but a very strong magnetic field is applied to your magnetic tape drive, and it basically destroys the magnetic lines of force inside your drive, right? But there is something called ultimate form of destruction of data, and that is only possible once you manually cut it, shred it, and burn it,
Destroyed.
and
Yeah.
melt it. So that is what data destruction is all about,
Yeah.
right? Now, few data, you know, some primitive and some modern controls which are discussed in CISSP. One amongst them is DLP, which I have already discussed,
Yeah.
network-based DLPs and host-based DLPs. Uh, and Madhav, you have a question regarding host-based and network-based. I'll tell you, right? I'll come back to your questions. So first is a DLP, and I will discuss DLP. That DLP basically is of two types. One is hosted on the, one is an agent which is running inside your endpoint, right?
Right.
And you
Right.
push certain policy. So I've worked with force point DLP, right? In the force point DLP, you have a policy engine, right, where you can define the policies for both the endpoints and the network, right?
Okay.
So the network one, so this question goes to Madhav. The network one, where do you place? So network one is generally placed with where all your data can move out in the form of data. So email gateways, right?
Right.
Your email
Right.
gateway is one of your network component where you can put your DLP engine running and detecting whether there is an email which is moving out of your, because obviously if you put a network based DLP does not mean you will put it at the network layer, because if you put it at the network layer, then you will have, how do you deep dive inside to the packet unless you do an SSL offload? So we'll not go there. Understand that there will be some kind of gateways where you, if you have a, if you have a say a FTP server, right, that could be one of your network DLP use case.
Yes.
If you have a,
Yes.
if you have an email server, so that is your second use case. So you have to understand what are your network devices which can, from where data loss can happen, right?
Right.
Because
Right.
otherwise it looks like network DLP maze just before the firewall you deploy a DLP. That will not happen, because
Yeah.
we'll have to do a lot of SSL offload and inspect each and every packet. So you
Hmm.
have to understand from where your data goes out. What are the vectors, right? I'm not a DLP specialist, but just to give you, because I worked with ForcePoint, so I can give you my perspective. I saw the L1 L2s working, and they used to ask me, sir, how to, how to define a policy, how to. So I used to guide them, right? So I physically not deployed, but what I saw with ForcePoint implementations was they had an email gateway on top of which ForcePoint was running. They had a host-based agent which was looking at, and then we had to do a lot of steganography. We had to design how DLP, what kind of classifications will declare whenever a file is generated, what will be the default classification, and
Yes.
whichever organization you're working with, no matter what, the moment you generate a word file or anything, automatically the logo of the company would get embedded. So those are
Come
the
in. Yeah.
policies you
Yeah.
have to design, right?
Yeah.
So we'll not go deep. CISSP is not about going deep, right? So first is DLP, which is needs to be understood. Second is CASP, you know, Cloud Access Service Broker. So what is Cloud Access Service Broker, Love? So Cloud Access Service Broker is like, in today's organizations, what we do, the era of depending upon on-prem applications has slowly reduced. Other than
Right.
government organizations,
Right.
most of your applications are either SaaS-based applications. For email, you're going to Office 365. For Salesforce, you're going to, for CRM, you're going to Salesforce. For
Yes.
HR Suite, you are going to some SAP, or Workday. For designing, you're going to Canva. For wireframing, you're going to Figma, right?
Yeah.
So millions of SaaS applications are available. Okay, we
Yes.
also have created two SaaS applications. So what I'm
Right.
trying to say is that, uh, you know how do you access this application securely from an environment which is so distributed, right? You
Right.
have 1,000 employees sitting all over the world, and they need to access thousands of applications. which are spread all over the servers, all over the cloud applications. How do you access it? So, do
Right.
you get them into a VPN inside your office? Okay, you put a VPN concentrator, thousands of employees accessing VPN, your VPN itself will fail.
Yeah, it will
So,
crash.
it will crash. So, you need to have a array of VPN split tunnels. So such a
Yeah,
headache.
yeah,
Imagine the headache. So,
yeah.
NIST came up with a solution that once cloud computing will gain, and it did not come up with this particular solution today, 1970s. So they could anticipate that cloud will come in someday, right? Because the cloud has been talked about by Nest in 1970s, right? So once cloud came in, when applications come in, the problem of access came in. Okay. So imagine you have to access 10, 12 applications and you are working from all over the place. So either you have a office from where everybody is sitting and you have very strict access controls, or you become distributive. Your access
Right,
become distributive. So what
right,
happens? From anywhere, anyone can now access your app securely. And
right,
I give you a small access point from where you go inside and you are into a secure zone, and your endpoint authenticates with a zero trust to this secure access point. And that is the
okay,
concept of cloud access service broker. So I will broker your access to all the cloud applications. Okay, Zscaler is one of the most well-known uh, cloud access service broker. There is Perimeter 81. There is I think Prisma, right? So there are many, right? Even Cisco
okay,
has one.
okay.
So that is CISP. Then next is DLP. Of course, we have discussed CISP. We have discussed. Then what else?
DRM?
Yeah, digital rights management, right? So
Yeah,
now DRM is a technology which basically protects the copyright of all your digital literary assets,
intellectual
which are,
property. Yeah,
yeah, intellectual property, right? So that is these three things you must know, and then comes how to protect data, right? So you need to understand data baselines. What are the baselines you need to apply? And if you want to apply a baseline, how do you tailor and scope the baselines to meet your requirement, right?
right,
So broadly,
right.
I think this is what is covered in asset security, and
Yes.
what else? Yeah, this is broadly what.
This is,
Uh,
yeah, mainly. Yeah.
yeah, and it's pretty easy. It's a good
Domain 2 is, I would say, most easy one. What do you say, sir? Yeah, apart from all this, 8, domain 2?
yeah. Domain two is easy.
Short
Domain
and
two.
short and easy. Yeah.
Yeah, short and easy. Other than domain 3 and 4, are easy, right? So
3,
we
3
end
is
up with
very tough.
all.
3 is very
Yeah,
tough.
so
3 and
so
1.
different.
Yeah.
But I will make it easy, don't worry. Right. So let's do questions
Yeah,
as
sure,
we
sir.
do,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay. So we start with questions. Okay. So we have 6 questions today. Let's start
Okay.
with first question, right?
Get ready, everybody on the call. It's your time to answer. Yeah,
Right. So which of
yeah.
the following provides the best protection against the loss of confidentiality for sensitive data? Right,
Best
sir? You would like,
protection.
yeah.
Mm, best protection against loss of confidentiality. Mm, data labels, classification, data handling.
Okay,
It
let's
looks
see.
B. It looks B to me, sir. Now let's see. Yeah,
Okay, let's see. So
yeah,
degaussing is a data remnants technique, right?
yeah, yeah,
So it's a data remnants control, right? So
yeah.
we take. Okay. Then data handling. Handling data, can it provide the best protection? Handling data means what? Using data, transporting data,
Mm,
right? Now, the fight will always be between two answers in CISSP. You'll
yeah.
see.
Right,
Okay,
right.
you'll be able to easily do this too, and fight will always. Should I label first and then classify, or should I classify first and then label?
Mm,
People get confused. You can label
yeah,
something only when it's classified, right? Once you have done, say,
yeah.
okay, this is confidential, and then only I will do labeling. So labeling is
Right.
post post class.
Classification.
Yeah, after you've classified, then you label, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So next question. This is an interesting question.
Yeah, carry on, guys. Keep on answering. It's good.
Yeah, so the question is, administrators regularly back up data on all the servers within your organization. So backup is being
Yeah,
done,
yeah.
right? They annotate and archive copy with the server. Okay, it came from. That means the data has which server it came from and what data was there. So you have a data, which
Hmm.
server it is coming from, okay, and
Okay,
what is the date. You have the data which is, from where it is coming from, which was the date, and transfer it to a unstaffed storage warehouse. So it goes to a storage
okay,
warehouse where there is no person, no human being.
okay.
Unstaffed, there is no human being. Okay.
Hmm.
Later they discovered that someone leaked sensitive emails sent between the executives on the internet. Okay. Security personnel discovered some archive tapes are missing. Okay.
Hmm.
And these tapes probably included the leaked mails. Of the following choices, what could have prevented this loss without sacrificing security? Without sacrificing security. Okay. So use a secure offsite storage facility. Has someone have we come in this question scenario where we are saying that uh, you know we didn't have a secure storage facility? Have we come
Yeah,
across?
it says unstaffed storage warehouse.
So do you mean unstaffed is insecure?
No, doesn't mean that.
So do you think that should be right answer? I mean, I'm just debating, right?
Yeah,
So
could
my
be,
question
could be.
is, could be
Yeah,
right. So this could be an
could be.
answer. So
Yeah,
let's debate. Okay.
yeah,
Destroy the backups offsite.
yeah. This doesn't make any sense. No.
Why? If I
What?
destroy the backups,
Yeah,
then my mails are, then there's no chance of data getting lost.
recovery. Right, right,
Yeah.
right.
But this is an archive, right?
Yeah.
So does it mean that if they would have destroyed,
Hmm.
then data wouldn't have gone out? But why do you archive something? Because you require it, right, for a
You
longer
might
time.
need it in future. Yeah, that's what. Right.
So it's not said that you have violated the retention policy or something like that. So
Yeah,
backup most likely doesn't seem likely right now. And
yeah.
this is a real CISSP type question, right?
It is.
Okay.
It is.
Don't store data offsite. Now that is straight cut. Why
Yeah,
shouldn't you store data offsite? So
we need
that
to
is
do that.
probably
Right.
illogical answer, right?
Right. Right. Right.
Mark the media kept offsite. So what happens when we mark the media?
We can mark
Say
it
I mark the
confidential and
media.
not, but
No,
then
say I
nobody
mark
is
the
there to look at.
media.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't do not use.
Okay. Do not use.
Okay, or
Okay.
classified. Okay, let's see.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've written this. Do not use, or I've written classified.
Yeah.
Okay, because you are archiving something, and whenever you archive, you generally archive data after you have declassified data. You never
Right.
archive a classified data. Please understand. A
Right.
classified data, if it is confidential, is not archived, it is alive.
Right.
Okay, so this is a wrong concept which people go with, that I have a top secret information and I will archive it. If it is top secret, my friend, you never archive it.
Yeah.
You archive data which you require for some later work or regulatory. If it is needs to be archived, you declassify it first from top
Yeah.
secret. You make it okay sensitive, and then you
Right.
archive it.
Right. Right.
Got it? So that is one part. So that means there has to be some. So let's see. If it was insecure, then you know what is the inclusive answer? This is where we have to decide. Even if it is secure, will you not mark it? If your site was secure, will you mark it or not?
But how will
Yeah.
marking help? That's what I'm thinking, sir. Will marking help actually?
Now, because it was unmanned,
Hmm.
there is no one to check. That
Whether
means
marking or not. Yeah.
this site is frequently visited by someone,
Yes.
and someone sees this data line. Okay,
Okay.
that means it is not said that it is insecure. That means IT guys come in, they see, and they walk in. And you have since you have put the unmarked data, they just took it and say, hey, let's use this hard disk somewhere.
Oh, that way. Okay. Okay.
See, look at
Got
the
it.
thought process, right?
Got it. Got it. Got it.
Okay, so somehow my mind takes me to A and not D, because D is pretty obvious, right?
Yeah.
So this is not wrong, but this is inclusive. Even if I have a secure offsite storage, I will always mark the media offsite,
Which is the best
so
practice,
that
right?
the IT guys who go inside, they'll see that okay, I am not supposed to use this. I can use
Hmm.
this, but I'm not supposed to use this marked data.
Okay. Okay.
Nowhere it is said in this information, nowhere it is said that my site was not secure. Okay, debatable, but that's my assessment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Abhishek is counting. Abhishek is saying unstaffed doesn't mean it's physically insecure.
Or he's
Hello.
debating. Yeah, is he
Yeah. Abhishek
debating
is
it?
saying. Yeah. He's asking unstaffed is physically insecure. So by that,
Really?
yeah.
There are so many banks lock their offices and go. Is it insecure? That means you trust the bank with your jewelry of your wife, and the night they lock it off and go. There have been many cases of theft in banks because there was no one. Your offices are locked over the night. Only one guy stays outside in the reception. Maybe I've seen so many offices with no staff. Even my office is unstaffed in the night. So you have to evaluate. Look, you have to see. Unstaffed doesn't mean insecure. You can secure a place without manpower, without human beings.
Yeah.
That's my analogy, right? Right. We'll not spend some more time. We'll go ahead. Administrators have been using tapes to back up servers in your organization. However, the organization is converting to a different backup system, storing backups on disk drives. What is the final stage in the life cycle of a tapes used as backup media? To a different backup system. So till now I had tapes. Now we are moving to say optical drives, or say we are going to SSDs, and we need to get the final stage. What will be final stage? Which will it cannot be retention, right? Backup tapes, because I've already taken it. Okay, it cannot be declassification, so it will be either degaussing or destruction.
I would say destruction then.
Why not degaussing?
Final stage in the life cycle is destruction. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, final stage is always degaussing is a method of destruction.
Yeah, it's a
A
method to destruction.
logical method, but it is not destruction, physical destruction.
Yeah,
It is
yeah.
logical destruction. Okay, right. Let's see next question. This is an interesting question. Right. So a company maintains an e-commerce server used to sell digital products via the internet. Right. When a customer makes a purchase, the server stores the following information on the buyer: name, physical address, email address, and credit card data. You are hired as an outside consultant and advise them to change their practices. Which of the following can the company implement to avoid an apparent vulnerability? Okay. So that is dealt with storing of data, right? So storing of data,
Mm.
storing names, common.
Yes,
Physical address, shall we store it?
I don't think so.
Why? If you don't store it, then how do you send the e-commerce stuff which has to go to your place. So we will require
Okay, okay.
a
We need.
physical address is required, right?
Email also we need then. Yeah.
Email address because he has to send the
Yes.
invoice.
Invoice and all. Yeah.
Credit, credit card data also he should save, right?
Definitely. Yeah. We need.
Okay. Do we need credit card data, love?
Uh, we for the transactions, right?
So I've done the transaction, and after the transaction, do I need it?
After the transaction, why you need to keep it? Yeah.
After the transaction, you don't need it, right?
No, 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 no.
Okay. Okay. So if I'm taking it, shall I anonymize the data? Shall I pseudonymize the data? Shall I move the company location or shall I collect
I
limitation?
would say
That means
D,
I do
sir.
not.
I would say D.
Okay. If you're saying D, what is the data that you should not collect?
Credit card data doesn't make any sense. Once the transaction is done, it's done. You can have transactional logs, but not the credit card data, right?
But a lot of people will say pseudonymization and anonymization. But those are the techniques for hiding the data or removing the
Right,
data logic, right?
right,
But ultimately, in privacy, always remember collection limitation. Don't collect data which you don't require. You might
right,
need physical address, you might need the email address, but credit card, you have done the payment. Now you don't need to save it. Just discard it,
right,
right? So that is the
right.
logic. Okay. So you're performing an annual review of a company's data policy and you come across some confusing statements related to security labeling. Which of the following could you insert to describe security labeling accurately? Security labeling is only required for digital media. Straight cut wrong. Labeling is
No,
required for everything.
everything.
Security labeling identifies the classification of data. Yes, it does.
Yes, yes.
Security labeling is only required for hardware assets. No.
No,
Security labeling is never used for non-sensitive data. No, you do use
we
labeling
do.
even for
Yes.
non-sensitive data,
Yeah,
unclassified.
yeah, yeah.
Do that.
Or public. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Right. Last question.
I mean,
Administrators regularly back up all email servers within your company and they routinely purge on site emails older than 6 months to comply with the organization's security policy. So, after 6 months, they purge it. They
yeah.
keep a copy of backups on site and send a copy to one of the company's warehouses for long term storage. Later,
Archival.
they discovered that someone leaked sensitive emails sent between executives over 3 years ago. Of the following, what policy was ignored and allowed this data breach?
B. Record retention, sir.
Why? I
They are
always ask.
because they must be keeping the emails in the archival state for too long, where they might not need it, right? And that's
They
why somebody
wanted it
built.
for 6 months. They were supposed to say it for 6 months. Okay.
Yes, but after 3 years, he's mentioning, right? So they might have kept it for too long.
Yeah. So they probably the retention policy is at fault and they are keeping it for
Yeah.
too long.
Right.
Right?
Right. Right.
That is the thing. And rest all is configuration management will not say, versioning will not say. Media destruction could come as a doubt. Okay,
Yeah.
because this
It came to me.
is
Yeah.
like
It came to me first. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But record retention is was where it's given you right that you are maybe retaining the data for too long for the
Right.
breach
Right.
to happen. Right, love.
Right.
I'm done for the day, and you know, if we can take any questions, we will start taking the questions
Yeah.
now.
Anybody has any questions on the line? We do have a lot of responses though, where many people participated, which I always like. Thank you so much for
Yes,
participation, guys. Yeah.
I love this Garuda Gaming. Nice name.
Yeah. He comes
Donkey
every day.
also,
Ronki comes every day. Fahintola
and
also comes every
Painful
day.
also
Yeah.
comes every day.
Abhishek
Yes,
Verma
yes.
also comes every day.
Abhishek
Yeah.
also comes every day. That's great.
Very good, guys. Very good. Good. These questions were tricky today, sir. Like, do you actually have a database of CSSP, this master database or something?
No, no. These are all
Okay.
taken from purging and archiving are different. Purging is destroying the data so that you cannot recover it very easily. Archiving means storing the data for long-term usage. That may be a regulatory requirement. Okay, Madhushri. Purging is destroying the data so that
Purging
you
is
cannot.
resection. Yeah, it's resection.
Purging is a kind of destruction of data. You
yes, yes.
basically do a very strong rewrites on. So you get softwares, purging softwares, which do a very high intensity rewrite over your disks. Okay.
Multiple times. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. We used to go to Nehru Place to get those softwares. I remember. Yeah.
yeah.
Delhi's favorite.
Okay, so your favorite question has come. Ronki is asking.
Yeah. Do you have any materials for studying CISSP? Yes. I have made some beautiful notes, Ronki. Why don't you take them and they are for free? Yeah, I have a lot of material. I made it for free. 600 pages of
Six
free.
hundred pages. Yeah, 600 pages. Right.
600 pages of CISSP notes, Cornell notes, right?
Yeah.
So if you want the notes, go to the site and download it.
How can I get? I think, sir, you need to paste the link here. He needs it.
Wait, I'll just post the link of the Cornell notes.
And feel free to spread the notes also to anybody who needs, because that's why Colonel sir has created it. Yeah.
Yeah, the only problem is I've not been able to make it free on my website because of though on LinkedIn it is for free, but I cannot make it free. GRC engineering. Yeah, love, would you like to take on this question? What is GRC engineering?
GRC engineering is the first time I'm hearing, sir. GRC is the governance risk and compliance. I understand from information security perspective. So, Mohammed,
GRC
I'll take on.
engineering.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead. You go ahead.
GRC engineering is, all in security, everybody comes up with a new term, right?
Yeah. It's a new term, right?
Madhushri, yeah, which one? This one. Can recording class full course be added in Udemy? Yeah, I'm doing a Udemy course, Madhushri. I'm making a Udemy course because in Udemy you need to have a very formal way of recording. I don't want to upload my recorded classes, so I'll do a formal recording and then upload it on YouTube, right? So not YouTube, on Udemy, so that it is accessible to more people, right? So, Ronki, this is where you can download GRC engineering, right? Engineering is
Yeah.
what? Engineering is building your GRC. Okay. So if
Right.
you
Right.
can
Right.
you
Right.
can build your GRC process for your organization. And Love, this is where you come as a specialist. So Love builds engineers GRC process for organization using ISO 27001, right?
Framework.
So
Yeah.
you
Right.
say
Right.
GRC engineering, how do you build the GRC processes for an organization? And it
Right.
could it could be as simple as engineering your solution on Excel sheet, or it could
Yes.
be as complex as deploying tools like Archer or
Yes.
ServiceNow to manage your GRC processes. So what I feel, the first phase is to develop a GRC process and then deploy the tools. That's what I understand.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I hope we have answered your question.
Definitely, yeah, yeah. We are running back-to-back courses on GRC, and the beauty of the trainings is we are already filled up till January. My courses are already filled up, so you can go right now, and you'll see that you are in pipeline. So I think 30 students per batch. We are
No,
already
December
exceeding the
batch,
batches.
December,
Yeah,
December batch is taken, so we
yeah.
don't have any more space for December batch.
We don't have any batches. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so
you have to be in pipeline now, and definitely. but
no, it's
the
not.
most
The thing
important,
is,
yeah,
the thing is, we do not want to uh, you know, uh,
right.
we don't want to overload the class. We
I
have to have
was
it.
I was given I was given a threshold of 20 by now, sir, but I exceeded somehow the 30 limit. So now we are already exceeding. So because Nahasar is always like 20 is a threshold. So because we need to maintain the one-to-one interactions, which is absolutely right. I completely agree with that. But still we have exceeded because students have requested a lot to join the classes. So that's why in December we are already touching 30. So no scope in December for sure. But definitely one thing that we provide, which is actually helpful for anybody who is there for GRCs, practical hands-on approach. You will be creating policies, you will be performing internal audits, you will be doing risk assessments from your own hands. There'll be nobody else, like no movie for 4 hours, no instructor telling you how to do this and that. Everything will be hands on by you. That is the beauty of these courses. I definitely feel free to get in touch with me on my LinkedIn in case of any requests and all. We can definitely be in touch. So we have a question.
In any case, declassification required before destroying data. That's a good practice. You should, if you're destroying data, that means that is not required anymore, and that's why you should declassify it. You know? Please provide me when the next batch starts. Ronki, we do not we do not ask, we do not deal with sales here. This is not a sales initiative.
The cost
Uh,
is very reasonable. We can assure you that is much more reasonable than any institute out there in India. I can assure you right now.
Love, I'm totally against this. So just hear me out. We don't discuss cost. We don't discuss
Yeah,
pricing. Okay,
true.
it's against my because this initiative is not for sales. This
Marketing.
initiative is
Yeah,
not
actually.
for
Yeah,
marketing.
right.
So we won't take any cost of. We are not going to discuss any sales here. If you want to get in sales, visit our website. This is our number. You get in touch with us.
Yeah.
That because we don't want to make it as a sales initiative. Okay. So I've typed down the number. You can just message us, or you can
I
email
have
us,
also given them my number. Yeah, you can use. Feel free to use any number. Yeah.
or you can mail us on support@protector. Right. So the aim is no sales and marketing here. Yeah, we have courses. If you want to go for courses, please visit our website. There are courses you can go through. The main aim is to spread awareness and help out people, who may not be able to afford the courses. Right. Yeah, I've sent you a mail address, and you visit
So
our website, Ronki.
yeah, yeah. Website has all the details, and the number that sir has provided, 8800, is your point of contact for any queries, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else? Anyone? Any other question?
I think they're more interested into the courses now, so we'll get more course questions. So I think we should leave now.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's good to interact with
Yeah,
people and get their perspective. Right.
yeah.
Right, thank you, Madhushree. Thank you so much. Thank you, Flurning. So you want to fly and learn.
Learning,
That's nice.
yeah. Blind learning, very good. And really thank you guys, everybody who is participating every day. This shows your commitment towards your career, and this shows that you are interested really towards learning CISSP. So I really thank you for that.
Right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Let's call it a day, and we will be there tomorrow. Okay. Tomorrow we will take domain three, the most
yeah,
interesting and supposedly the difficult domain.
yeah.
Thank you and take care. Bye bye. Thank you. Thank you, Garga.